So what would universal health care mean for the United States? Are there lessons to be learned from Europe and Canada? Did they do some things right? Did they do some things wrong? Join us now to discuss is Dr. Lee Vinokur. Hey, Dr. Vinokur, how are you? The Obama, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble here. The Obama administration is talking about making sure that everybody is covered. What exactly are they talking about?
Well, they're talking about increasing coverage, and that's going to have to be with taxation. They're talking about maybe doing mandates, but mandates are costly if you don't have subsidies, so they're going to have to raise that money somewhere. But they're also talking about containing costs. And some of the things they're talking about, like capitation, in the Congressional Budget Office put out a statement. Capitation, that didn't work when managed care tried it. And then they were also talking about decreasing the amount of new drugs. Well, that kind of squashes innovation for medicine. So some of the suggestions, and nobody's talking about liability, which is a real problem with costs spiraling up. A lot of doctors have to practice defensive medicine because of liability. So that's an issue that nobody's discussing. That could contain the cost.
When you get socialized medicine, and maybe it's a bit too much to call what they're proposing at this point socialized medicine, maybe. But when you get socialized medicine, what are the things that you should be concerned about?
Well, whenever there is a single-party payer and it's socialized, there is always a problem with wait times. There's rationing. There's nothing you can do. I mean, in Canada, I trained in Detroit, and women used to have to come across the border for radiation therapy for cancer.
We always hear, oh, the Canadian model, it's the best in the world.
It isn't, and if you talk to Canadians, and I talked about this on Cavuto, and I got an email from a woman who was a Canadian, now an American citizen in Canada, and she said, the wait times are unbelievable. People die waiting for treatments. The other problem they have in Canada is doctors. They can't get enough doctors to practice, and the elderly are disproportionately targeted. And in England, too, they do a formula. The National Health Service says how old you are, how many years you're going to benefit from this treatment, and the cost of it. So an 85-year-old is not going to get aortic valve replacement, or perhaps a 75-year-old senator with a bad malignant brain tumor might not get aggressive treatment. So there are definitely...
Of course, that would never happen.
Well, in England, you can pay for your own treatment, but then you have the haves and have-nots. So there are definitely issues with completely socializing medicine.
I think it's a topic we're going to have to be looking at very carefully in the days ahead.
It's going to definitely be talked about more.
Dr. Vinokur, always a pleasure to have you here.
My pleasure to be here.
Doctors say Ed McMahon